parish population exporting that.
Need
to see a couple little white faces.
It's 4 o'clock, the meeting will come to order. See, we have a quorum present with board members. The next item on the agenda is the introduction of attendees. So I guess we'll start at this table and go around, and we'll get all the visitors there to introduce themselves.
Mr. President, at what point do I move for a closed board meeting? Just Board of Trustees.
That'll be before the approval of the agenda, but the mayor may not be able to. Next.
I'll be happy. Number one, I'm very disappointed by Ms. Griffin's immediate action or request to close this meeting. Let's think about this. We're here, and the first thing I hear this board member say, before we've even had a meditation, is she wants to go into executive session. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ms. Griffin, if you go into executive session, you'll have to have the police officer take me out, and then I'll be filing litigation this week to see what was covered to make sure you had the right to go into executive session.
And just
executive, if you're going to talk, I want to come out. Don't take my 3 minutes. Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I just want for clarification. I asked the president, at what point can I move to close, to go into close?
For clarification, you're trying to close this meeting. And when you do, if you're successful, I will ask through the parties why it was closed, what was discussed, and then I'll file litigation and name you individually and all of the board members, because I'm going to insist that y'all only go into executive session for the rules that are authorized by law. Secondly, I'm going to be here to make sure that the public records requests that have been made are complied with, or there will be litigation. This is the reality of where we are. I want you to know this right now. You have Mr. Barker here. You need to know that from now on, we're going to follow the rule of law. Thank you.
Approval of the agenda. If anyone has a motion to make prior to the approval of the agenda, that's done.
I'd like to ask our attorney. Oh, is it proper protocol to, at this point, call for a closed board meeting to discuss some issues within the board member, and then reconvene our visitors, go into closed board meeting, and then.
I just wanted to comment and say, if in fact that does prevail, I would ask our consideration to proceed with our regular meeting in that guests are here rather than detain them. If there is some concern that needs to be addressed in executive session, we will do so afterwards.
Just for your edification and everyone else's, Title 42, the statutes list some specific things that you can go into executive session for. Discussion of an employee, awarding a public contract, strategy sessions in respect to collective bargaining, discussion regarding security, investigating procedure, allegations of misconduct, cases of extraordinary emergency. So, if your reasons fall in that category,
And fine.
Okay, Title 42 also says that to go into executive session requires a unanimous vote.
So before I make my motion, can we get your attorney to explain? Can we go into executive session?
To discuss an employee?
Employees.
I don't believe so. In order to do that, there's a second provision in the public meetings law that says if you're going to have a meeting to discuss various components of an employee character performance, then you must give them at least 24 hours.
Okay, so.
And then it's up to the employee whether they want it to be open or an executive session.
So
we're not allowed to, we can't meet the 24-hour requirement via an amendment to the agenda.
So what makes this closure different from the other closure we had around December, closed board meeting.
I didn't know I wasn't notified, so I can't speak to
Well,
that.
you were here. You were at, what library were we at? In Wallet? That's the last time we closed board. Yeah, because you were here, you rendered a decision. Okay, so since it's different today, what I'd like to, express is, I too was, upset because the board name was used for a sponsored function, and the board had just met in February, and none of this was brought to, now I was not here, but I read all communication, and that was not on the agenda, so it was not a board approved function. Am I correct, board members? Did you all approve this? Did anybody, because if you have February agenda, did you all receive, because none of that was listed on the board agenda. So evidently, that decision was made within the employees.
I read it on an anniversary list of events scheduled
Well, it was
a
not.
month before.
Yeah, well, it was not approved by the board, but I see that the board has to address the issue. And the reason why I wanted a closed board meeting, because I've always been assuming, instead of calling names out, we need to find out what really happened. Why we're here, which you all are welcome to come. But had we been notified properly, I didn't even get the whatever was sent out regarding the sunshine meeting. And I'm totally upset. And we're supposed to be accountable. And if you know anything about me, Mr. Settler knows me, I dot my I's and cross my T's. And I'm upset just like you all are. Because now, if there's anything, anytime from now on, and you need to express to the board, we welcome you. I wasn't shutting you all out. It's just that I wanted to find out from our employees what happened. I don't think any of the board members can raise their hand that they got this notice. And our secretary is supposed to send it to us.
It was in the Shreveport Times 1 week prior.
But the thing is, it was stated that it was a board-sponsored event. We didn't vote on it. It was never brought to us.
May I comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. In as much as incidents have occurred before, we as a board ask to be apprised of whatever is transpiring that concerns us. We'd rather not hear from the persons in the community as to what we are sponsoring and are doing without being knowledgeable. So it's a matter of, if there's correspondence, I don't choose to go on the website, as we've said before. Send it info directly to each of us as a board member. We can deal with it if it merits meeting in concern that, then we'll do so. But to hear otherwise as opposed to direct, then I have opposition with that. And as Neil said, those are concerns that will be addressed. It's transpired now, we'll address future inactions.
I concur.
So do you want to make a motion?
Well, since the board attorney said that a motion is not for a closed board meeting, at this point is not acceptable, so I will keep a mental statement in my mind that no closed board meeting can occur without proper notification. Because for clarification, early fall, we had a closed board meeting. That's a practice we had. So since we want you with this. So we'll discuss, let me ask the attorney another question. So how we're going to, what is the best way we can resolve this matter today about the Sunshine Week? Since employees were not notified, do we hold back and go through this again at our March or April meeting?
The director has come up with some new guidelines on how we sponsor different functions, and we'll be copy of that when it's developed.
The director or the board, board will have some,
We would make a recommendation.
he's making a recommendation, okay, I see.
Or enhance.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'll move that we continue with the agenda